Hello, welcome to JAV Show. This is Jorge.
And this is Viv.
Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
So, actually, I was going to talk to you about this. Our YouTube's like 1 week late than our Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. We should just keep it like that from now on. Fuck them.
No, it's okay.
Fuck YouTube.
I need to be on top of my
fuck
pictures.
YouTube. They can fucking suck it and be 1 week later than Spotify. Hey guys, if you're listening on YouTube, you want the latest episodes on Spotify. Fuck YouTube.
It's my picture drawing, guys.
Related but also unrelated, I noticed recently that the YouTube Shorts is a pretty big thing.
I think we should make some YouTube shorts.
No. I've always been against social media. And I've always been like, oh, fuck TikTok. I don't want to go through that doom scrolling shit. And then literally the other day, I spent like half an hour just watching random YouTube shorts.
Oh, shit.
Like, fuck, man. This is the same thing as fucking TikTok at this point.
It is.
Yeah. Because most of mine that I watch is either like food related or car related stuff. And it'll just be like a short of like, you ever see me watch those videos with Gearhead Brian? Yeah, he has those like mechanics tips and shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh shit, man, I'm addicted to these.
That's right. Every single platform is pushing out short form video content. And so if you wanted to do it for our podcast, I feel like the funniest thing or the best choice that we could do is clip out the most controversial thing that we've said in the podcast and add no context whatsoever and just put just that.
You know what? That'll require editing. I don't think I'm willing to do that.
True. That could also be the quickest way for us to get like seriously canceled. I don't even know if that's possible, but like canceled.
Uncancelable. Are we? Don't we just go on Truth Social after?
What is that?
Trump's thing. Trump's social media thing.
It's called Truth Social?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Or something. I don't know. Or you can go on Twitter. You can just post this shit on Twitter, no?
What do we say? Please don't cancel us.
No, as in just like, okay, if YouTube cancels it is what it is. I mean, sorry for the folks who actually listen to this on YouTube. Let's see how many of you guys are there. Let's check out the stats. If there's any good stats. Any YouTube stats. But yeah, I've noticed I've been a little bit addicted to YouTube shorts. I might have to stop watching them. Let's see. Manage videos. This is where I go. YouTube creators. I almost never use this interface. You know how they have all these like YouTube analytics and stuff, and Mr. Beast always talks about like, oh yeah, you gotta go through the analytics and do all this shit. I was like, dude, I have no fucking idea. Wow, we have 62 views. What is this? Channel views compared to your typical performance over time. So what is this? This can help you spot high performing videos, anticipate seasonal changes, and determine when to upload new videos. Dude, we got -1. We have 125 subscribers. What the fuck? And we got -1. Okay, I had no idea that was happening.
Who the fuck unsubscribed, you bitch?
Who the fuck? Who's these 125 people?
Do you know like 50 people?
I don't think I know 50 people personally.
Me either.
Watch time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting though. Yeah, I don't know who listens to this on YouTube, but apparently we have views on YouTube. I'm pretty sure a lot of these are just like, oh, we clicked the wrong video type of thing.
Damn, no one really liked the trending news, US politics one, hey?
Is there a dislike? Average view duration, 0.04 4 seconds. I think a lot of these are like
whoa, but this one
seconds.
Is 5 minutes.
No, I think a lot of them are all like super short. I think people accidentally click these, to be honest. If I'm being honest, a lot of people accidentally click these. Look. 24 minutes. So one person watched for 24 minutes for that one. That's pretty cool. This is by publish date. Are these the super old ones? No, these are the newest ones. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I've never really gone through this stuff.
Man, it's because our last video said porn in it, huh, guys?
Probably. Cities. What? This is not the right graph. View by cities?
Alright.
This is a line chart of dates and this view by cities. How the fuck does that work? How the fuck does this work?
The next few drawings on YouTube are going to be pervy. Let's see the viewer count go up.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, anyways.
It's going to be massive titties.
I have to stop myself from... Actually, it's not... Actually, I actually don't feel too bad for that as long as it's not like too much brain rot. I just don't want excessive brain rot.
After a while, do you feel like you can literally feel your dopamine stores deplete? Or your whatever stores in your head just deplete if you doom scroll for too long? I feel like I feel that.
I don't know because I only do it like twice a week. Like Saturday morning, I get to sleep in a little bit, or maybe Sunday morning, and then I'll be on my phone for like 30 minutes in bed. And then sometimes if I'm like super tired, like on a Friday, I might just lay on the couch like before you come for the podcast and just like 30 minutes of that. Maybe. And that's not every week either. That's like maybe every other week is once or twice a week. So I don't know. I feel like it's not that bad. I feel like if you do it more often, you'll get the feeling more. Is how I think, but I don't know if that's true or not.
I wouldn't say I doom scroll that often either, but once in a blue moon when I do, it'll be like for an hour. Maybe like once every few months. And whenever I stop, I'm like, holy shit! I feel like my brain is actually fried.
What is does doom scroll? Does that mean like social media stuff, or is it like even just like YouTube Shorts and TikTok and stuff?
I don't know what the formal definition of it is, but I would imagine it's just mindless scrolling for whatever allotted amount of time.
Oh. Like, I would feel shitty if I was scrolling through scrolling for an hour of like social media related stuff. Oh, my friend's birthday, and then this person had this party, and this person went to this trip. Oh, this person's parent died, or
I feel like YouTube Shorts would also count.
Really? Like, I feel like if I did that for like literally like Facebook or Instagram, like seeing other people's lives for an hour of people I know, I would probably hate myself.
I don't think I can do that even. It's just not interesting.
Yeah, but then like if I watch like the other day I watched 20 minutes of Matt Zermatt whatever his
Do you know Zermatt?
Yeah, he's like a Singaporean food guy who eats like a fuck ton of food.
Does he have big ass eyes?
No, he has really small eyes actually.
Oh.
Is this guy Zermatt Neil? I was trying to think of his.
I don't know him.
He eats like 9 kilograms of like fucking curry or some shit.
Jesus.
And the other day I was watching like 20 minutes of his shorts because like, dude, this is fucking impressive.
I would say that's doom scrolling.
Really? But I don't feel bad at all. Like for him, it's like, oh wow, this is so great. Like I just want to see all the impressive feats he does because it's so cool. Because like sometimes I watch like Beard Meets Food or other like food guys, and I was like, dude, this guy's like crazy. This guy's like literally eating not just per challenge, it's like per kilogram.
That's insane,
right? Like he's like downing 9 kilos in one sitting. I was like, dude, I don't know many other competitive eaters that can actually do that.
Do you think you can eat that much?
No, 100% no. That's crazy, dude. Some of the videos I see of me, I was like, dude, this is not human at all. 9 kilograms.
That's insane.
That's like what, 20 pounds? Add 20 pounds to you right now of food.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy.
Dude, like even 3 pounds of meat, I'd be dead after, I think. Wait.
Yeah.
3 pounds of meat. How much is that? Yeah.
3 pounds of meat.
That's like 1.5 kilo, right?
Ish. I would say 1.4.
Yeah. So that's a lot of meat. And he's going through 9 kilos. I was like, dude, that's fucking crazy. But yeah,
Even with carbs and everything too, that's a lot.
Dude, I feel like he doesn't take that into consideration sometimes. I feel like he doesn't take calorie into consideration. It's literally just weight. How much weight can I stuff? Is how I feel like he does it. Because most of his videos are all like per kilogram, right? Like how many kilograms I'm eating. So like one meal could be way more calories because there's more fat in it.
Yeah.
But for him, it's literally just kilograms.
Yeah, I feel like people who do competitive eating, their stomach stretches in a way that moves your other organs aside so they don't physically feel bloated. And I'm also under the impression that their metabolism is fucking insane or else they'd be obese.
Or they're shitting food.
Well, maybe take a laxative before you eat.
Not even laxative. It's just they just have a shitty. Doesn't that Zhu Yang? You know that Korean girl Zhu Yang?
Who are these people?
Zhu Yang? Yeah, you don't watch much foodie stuff, eh?
I don't eat like food.
You don't like badasses, right? I see it. I hear it. I understand it. Zhu Yang. She's a Korean. She eats a crazy amount too. Like when I've seen her eat, I was like, dude, this is insane. Bought 15. So she doesn't always eat everything she gets, but she always orders like a fuck ton of food.
She doesn't eat it all?
Most of the time she eats it all. But sometimes she doesn't. Like sometimes it's literally way too much. But like there's times where she eats like I think like 6-7 kilos of whatever, right? But like I was very interested in her for a little bit because first she's like this tiny little Asian girl that eats a fuck ton of food.
She's still tiny.
I have no idea. Oh yeah, she's still tiny. But I was interested in her because 2 reasons. One, I heard someone say like she has some like digestive issue, so that's why she can't eat so much, as her body's not even processing all the nutrients because she has some issue, right? So like she'll eat and she doesn't feel full because her body wants more nutrients, but it can't, like, for some reason can't process.
So her body doesn't produce ghrelin?
I have no idea. Rumors, that's what I heard. And then the other thing I heard was that she got beat up by her boyfriend.
Huh?
That was my whole trek on Koreans and people getting beat up. Yeah. She was where I found out that Korean woman gets fucked over by the male counterpart.
I saw this podcasty thing talking about how a lot of fans of a specific mukbanger,
yeah.
They never noticed that she was getting physically abused by her boyfriend for so long. But then if you went back into her videos and looked at all her videos, she would often have bandages and wraps on her fingers and her arms. Is it this chick?
Maybe. I have no idea. I didn't get that deep. After I heard she just got beat up, I was like, I'm not watching her shit anymore. I don't want to be part of the abuse.
You lost a viewer, bitch.
Like, I heard her boyfriend wanted her to do, like, I don't know. I thought it was something related to like making more content, making more money for him and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm not supporting this. I'm just not going to watch her at all. Then fuck this. But yeah, that's how I got into that's where I got into the rabbit hole. That's crazy though. If like you can go back to the old videos and see it, that's like real life Shutter Island.
Yeah, can you like scroll maybe?
I'm not gonna go fucking try to find a single
don't click
frame where there's like a bruise on her arm.
No. It's like that whole video where if you look at her arms, she'll have like tapes and bandages all over it. I'm curious if it'll be in the thumbnail.
I think
apparently they're in like most of them.
I actually don't think it's that obvious.
No, like I remember seeing a few screenshots. It was an Asian girl, but I don't remember exactly what she looked like. And it was like big white sheets of Band-Aid like all around her arm. Like over here. If
I saw that on you, I'd be like, oh, just rough day at volleyball or some shit. Like, that's what I would think, right?
On her hand. Yeah, no one ever really questioned it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't feel bad for not noticing it because it's like, if I was a YouTuber and I was super popular, I wouldn't want people prying into my life, right? So then as a viewer, I'd be like, okay, I want to like see their content and know who they are, but I don't want to like pry into their life if they're not willing to share it.
If I came to podcast one day with a black eye, would you ask me where I got it from?
Like, how bad is a black... Like, okay, I haven't seen many black eyes in my life, but I feel like the cartoon version of it makes it sound way worse.
Okay, so the cartoon version of it makes it so that your actual eyelid on top and your bags on the bottom are completely purple or blue, right?
It's like full makeup, doesn't it look like that?
That exists in real life.
Oh, really?
Depending on the severity of the bruising, you can have that in real life.
Okay, so maybe I'm a sheltered person, but I've rarely seen people with black eyes.
I feel like the more common look for black eyes, if it's not to that extent, is where you'll see like actual bruising around kind of the areas where you would see a girl put eyeshadow.
Yeah.
Or like around the lash line or where you have your bags.
Yeah, so where they have their bags, I'm like...
You'll just see like a bruise in the shape of like a bag line, like a half crescent.
I don't know. It'd be like rough night of sleep or something, or like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to
bed or something.
I don't want to assume anything.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I'd ask about it because I know you personally.
Okay, that makes sense. That's the point I was getting to.
But if it was like fucking Mr. Beast and some shit, I'd be like, I guess his makeup artist didn't want to do shit this week, so I don't know. Like, I don't want to pry
I can see that. I feel like some people are a lot more invested in the people that they watch.
Yeah, and I feel like it's cool, but it's also a little creepy at the same time. It's like they have to understand that these people may or may not be a completely different person outside of their videos, right?
They don't actually know you do.
Yeah, so it's like I don't want to invest that much when I watch these famous people.
That makes sense.
So then that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't like feel bad like, oh, these people didn't notice before, all these things. I was like, nah, I mean, like, if she's not gonna talk about it and you see a bandage on her arm and like, who the fuck knows? Like, maybe she plays like volleyball after eating every day and stuff, or like she does some like combat sport or some shit, right? I have no idea, so that's why I wouldn't like go straight to judgment for that. But yeah, she was my inspiration in figuring out why Koreans are so fucked up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I started asking people, and they told me about it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then that was the end of my research.
That's really interesting how that's where you hear about that.
From this, yeah, I don't know. I think it wasn't even me. I think it was someone else. I think I was talking to either Joyce or someone else. I'd be like, oh, I like watching this Zhu Yang girl. She has some like really cool mukbang stuff. And I think it might have been Joyce, it might have been my cousin or something. And they're like, did you know she's like abused? I was like, what the fuck? And then they told me the whole story about like how Koreans are like really fucked up.
Stereotypically.
Yeah, and then I was like, whoa. And then I was like super judgmental about Koreans since then.
And then one of them?
And then I also stopped watching her videos at the exact same time. Most of them, yeah.
Do you have any Korean male friends?
No, that's the thing. I don't have many Korean male friends. I have Korean female friends, but they don't date Korean males. So I was like, I guess it's not the same, right? I assume it's gonna be like if you date I assume this issue happens when you date Korean males, right? So if it's like my Korean friend's dating a white guy, I was like, I'm not gonna assume he's beating you up unless you're into that thing. I don't know.
I know I'm friends with some Korean guys. I feel like they're pretty nice
until they're in.
I mean, you can say that about everyone until they're not.
That's true. But do you ever feel it? Do you ever feel like someone might be more of an abuser? Someone might be like, no way that person can abuse anyone.
Yeah. I don't know if I've felt like off the bat that somebody is definitely an abuser, but I definitely know there's people that seem like they wouldn't be, but they are.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. I seem like I wouldn't be, in my opinion, but maybe I am. Who knows?
Shut up.
No, like I literally have said this multiple times. I think on the podcast, like I stopped doing. Wait, have I said I stopped doing judo literally because I couldn't hurt people. Like it just felt weird, like throwing someone down with the intention of hurting them.
You're supposed to hurt them?
No, you're not supposed to hurt them. But I also feel like they want you to go maximum effort sometimes when you do practices and stuff. But I'm like, if I don't want to hurt them and I'm going maximum effort, what the fuck am I doing? Right? Yeah. Like the only way I can go maximum effort is if my intention of doing that action is to like incapacitate them.
Wait, yeah. How can you practice in judo then?
I only did it for like a year.
Or like basically anyone, essentially. If the idea is to put your max effort, isn't one person going to come out of the match really hurt?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like some people are okay with hurting other people. Not like okay as in like they'll do it on a daily, but like if it came to that situation, they would fight, for example. But I feel like I'm a wuss. I was like, it just feels wrong for me to like push someone over or like hit someone.
I can see that.
But that's not, I don't think that's like, I don't think I'm abnormal, but I don't think that's a completely normal. Like, I think I'm too pacifist. As in, like, some people would have a good middle line. I feel like, dude, I just don't want to fucking, it just feels weird having to hurt someone.
I mean, physically, I agree.
Physically, like emotionally, psychologically, mentally, I don't care. That shit to me is like, whatever. I'll do it all day, every day, any day. Right, but physically just feels weird for me.
Physically seems wrong, but all the other ones,
yeah. I'll call you fat bitch. I'll like do all that shit. I don't care. That stuff to me doesn't matter because, in my opinion, you know, the whole sticks and stones thing.
I mean, I feel like there's a difference between hurting someone's feelings or accidentally hurting someone physically versus being so able to do it to the level where you would call it abuse.
That's true too. Like, I don't think I'd be able to do that. I don't think. I've never done it, so I don't have no idea. Right. But I could definitely make fun of you, and if you're offended, then I'll just stop talking to you. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I guess you can't take a joke. Like, I get shit on a lot too, and yeah, sometimes I feel offended, but I won't show it. Right.
I feel like being offended is different from like verbal abuse.
What do you mean?
If you were to say you verbally abuse someone, or you are verbally abused, it's different from saying, oh, I get offended often from this person, or this person often offends me.
But can't you only be verbally abused if you care?
Not necessarily.
Really? Like, if I don't care, someone can like quote unquote verbally abuse me, but it wouldn't affect me. Then like it's a victimless crime at that time.
I mean, is a victimist crime, but it doesn't mean you weren't verbally abused. That makes sense.
True, yeah.
It's like someone can hit you, but regardless or not if it actually hurt, they still hit you.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess so. I guess if I verbally abuse someone, they get offended, then I just leave the situation.
I don't think you're verbally abusing people.
That's true, actually. Making fun of someone, but some people don't know that difference. Those are the people I can't really like deal with, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone should if they don't know that difference.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree. It's weird. But yeah, like physically I can't, but yeah, verbally, mentally, that's all cool.
I think mental abuse is different too.
What's mental abuse?
Like psychological abuse.
Like shitting on your bed or something.
No. Like being manipulative.
Oh. Like, give me an example. Manipulative.
Can you Google? I can't think on the spot.
Wait, let me think of one. Being manipulative. Like, me trying to befriend you so I can take your money. Wait, that just seems like a crime. Wait, hold up. Manipulative. Oh, me getting really close to you so I can get close to your other friend that I am actually truly interested in getting close to, and I have no cares for you at all.
Yes.
Or like wanting to, I don't know, I'm trying to, like wanting to...
So Google it. Examples of psychological manipulation.
Dude, this is gonna be LSD, no?
No.
Psychological manipulation
gaslighting.
Involves making someone question their own reality, sanity, or memory. Oh.
Like, that's not true. I didn't do that. Oh my god, you're making things up again.
Maybe I do that, actually.
You're always so stupid. But then, I don't know. I think you do it at a very minuscule level. It's not to the level where you would call it abuse.
I think I do it to a very obvious way. Like, I'm obviously wrong, but I'm going to say it. Guilt tripping. Using someone's sense of guilt or responsibility to control their actions. Oh, that's true. Guilt tripping. I'm trying to think how to guilt trip someone. Like, making someone buy me dinner because they didn't bring me on their trip.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds so pathetic. Emotional blackmail. Threatening or manipulating someone by playing on their emotional vulnerabilities. Oh, if you leave me, I'll kill myself.
That's crazy.
Whoa. If you don't leave me right now, I'll kill myself.
Oh, if you don't do what I want, I'll make your life miserable. That's another example.
But this only works if they care. No?
Not really.
Like, the one emotional blackmail will only work if they care. Like, if someone said that to me, I'm like, who the fuck are you? And then they'll be like, I'm going to do all this stuff to you. I was like, okay, well, if you touch my things or me, I'm going to call the cops. And if you go, like, say random shit about me, well, I'm not even on social media, so who the fuck's going to, like, talk to me about it?
What's the difference between emotional blackmail and just general blackmail? If you care or not?
General blackmail has money involved, no?
Oh, it's just money?
Because
I'm like, okay, if somebody was to try and get an emotion out of you, they could say something like, oh, I will.
Yeah, maybe you're right. So blackmail is the action treated as a criminal offense of demanding payment or another benefit from someone in return for not revealing, compromising, or damaging information about them. It'd be like, I have your nudes. I'll be like, give me money or I'm going to send those nudes out.
But what about the emotional one?
Emotional blackmail. Threatening or manipulating someone by playing on their emotions or vulnerabilities. Oh. Give me money or I'll shoot Lumi. No, actually, no. That's just straight up blackmail.
That's just blackmail.
Emotional blackmail. Threatening or manipulating someone by playing on their emotion.
Maybe somebody that's like, I'm your mom's boss at work. Do this or else I'm going to treat your mom badly. Or I'm going to give her more stress. Ooh, something like that.
That'd be intense. Like, I'll fuck your mom.
Because you technically can't do anything about that, I think. To a degree.
I mean, this one, the example is if you leave me, I'll kill myself. That's kind of intense, though.
Yeah, that's...
Or if you don't do what I want, I'll make your life miserable. But doesn't all this psychological manipulation only, like, works if you care? Like,
yeah, if somebody's like...
If someone tried gaslighting me...
I'm gonna go kick the curb outside of your house if you don't get me bubble tea. Then you'd be like, alright, go. You need I have another curb in the back. Like,
no, I'll be like, I'll call cops right away. But yo, this guy's defacing public property. Guilt tripping. Yeah. So if it's guilt tripping, I'm just trying to think if I could ever be guilt tripped. I could actually.
I feel like if you're in a situation, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody or like a long-term friendship maybe with somebody, I feel like they could easily, well, maybe not easily, but they could manipulate you or do these things in a way that you don't always see. Like, it's not always obvious.
Yeah, 100%. Like, this is gonna sound bad, but I felt like in one of my past relationship, I felt like I was not intentionally guilt tripped, but like my ex at the time was like, her family life was pretty shitty, right? And we were already dating for a while, and I like didn't really want to break up with her because I was like, man, her life's pretty shitty already. This is just gonna make it worse. There's no point, right? And then she ended up cheating on me. But anyways, regardless of that,
all right,
it wasn't like she didn't guilt trip me, but I did feel guilty of like
I don't think that counts.
Hurting that person. Yeah,
I think it only counts if she's like, why aren't you caring about me? Don't you know that I have so much going on?
Yeah. That's true.
Or like,
that's true.
You're not thinking of leaving me when I have so much, when my life is already not perfect, are you? Maybe?
Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I do feel, I feel like sometimes I get into those sticky situations, especially when I was younger, of just not like saying what I want. And then just getting like dragging it out too far, which I've learned now where it's like, I don't want to drag shit out. I'm just going to say it. So then I won't feel any like regrets later on, and I won't feel that guiltiness.
I fully agree.
But definitely when I was younger, I was an idiot for that.
Oh yeah.
I was an idiot for not just straight up saying like, no, like I don't want this or this situation or something like
and
that.
really speaking your mind about things.
Yeah. But I think it comes with like maturity and like growing.
I agree.
So, okay, what's the other one? Playing the victim, making oneself appear helpless or vulnerable to elicit sympathy or control. Oh, that sounds pathetic. But that's like guilt tripping, no? Playing the victim. That's very similar to guilt tripping.
Kind of. But I guess it's like half the attempt in a way.
Seems pretty similar. Charm and flattery, using excessive praise or attention to gain influence or control. Is that, it's like, I guess that's a manipulation. It's just not like the negative connotation we get for, like when you think about psychological manipulation, you think of like the bad shit, right? But like this is just charm and flattery is just natural, right? Like
not necessarily. It could be like, oh my god, you're so kind. You're so nice to me. Oh my god, you look so pretty today. And then let me think. If your actual MO was to, I don't know, get this person to go to the mall with you.
Yeah, but
I
like,
don't think that's intense enough. You could be like, oh, you're so pretty, or you're so whatever. You look so good in this skirt I saw at the mall. Maybe we should go shopping. Then you kind of...
It feels so...
Doesn't feel intense enough, but I feel like that's the idea.
For some reason, it feels so natural. Like, it's just charm, right?
Yeah.
You're literally, like, usually when you're trying to charm someone, you want something. Like, maybe the thing you want is just their attention, too. But it's still charm or flattery.
I can think of one.
What?
Being, like, charming an old person and being like, oh, you're so kind, you're so generous, you're always so giving, and pretend you work at a charity. You like con them into donating more than they actually have. You could be like, oh yeah, like I saw your retirement savings. You're gonna live so long, and that money, yeah, it's gonna grow in your bank. You're so smart with your money, blah blah blah. We run this charity. Can you donate like half of your savings? I feel like that could be like charm and flattery.
Maybe my like thought process to psychological manipulation is just different. Like personally, I feel like people who psychologically manipulate others, my connotation to that is like, oh, they're bad people. They're like, you know, fucking, they're just bad people. But then like charm is just like, it just happens. Like through the century of humanity, charm and flattery has always just been a thing.
Imagine
right?
One of your siblings taking care of your parents a lot.
Yeah.
And okay, no, I'm not gonna. Imagine your parents they work really hard for their money. Okay, I know they do, but like they worked really hard for their money to have a lot of savings. And then say you know that one of your siblings really wants to buy a new car.
Yeah.
And so lately they've been like kissing your parents' ass. They've been being really nice to them. And they're like, oh, like, I just need a little bit of help to pay off this new car I want. I think that would be manipulation in the form of charm and flattery.
Yeah, okay. I just don't feel like... I feel like it doesn't... in my... like I said, it's me. It's my connotation of the definition of psychological manipulation. It doesn't really belong. It's like through evolution, some people got stronger and some people didn't, and they resorted to charm and flattery to get what they want. Whereas other people just got stronger and beat people up for what they want. Or some people got smarter and they just got, you know, financial gains to get what they want, right? And I feel like charm and flattery is just one of the possible ways you can do that with.
I can see that.
Whereas like the next one, intimidation and threats, that seems like way bad, like almost no good to it. Charm and flattery just feels like, oh, this is like, feels weird calling it, or feels weird being in this list. Because this list feels like all bad shit, right? Gaslighting, guilt tripping, emotional blackmail, silent treatment, playing the victim, intimidation, deception, lying, right? It feels all like super bad shit, and charm and flattery just feels like, I don't know. It's just,
so do you think if someone was able to charm their way into conning someone, it's
it's like
bad?
Like sugar babies. It's like, yeah, they clearly charmed and flattered someone for a lot of money, but
I feel like that's not conning though.
Yeah, that's true.
Conning would be like if you're doing that to an old person.
That's true.
It's not sugar baby based. It's just.
I mean, if you do it to an old person, is it not just like deception and lying? Sounds more like it than just charm and flattery.
But you're charming them to think that they're doing a good thing in a way, or that they're willingly giving you something that they don't know.
Yeah, so that's part of deception, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's just weird. Like, it's just definition of words is where I'm mixed up at. Because I feel like charm and flattery would just be like synonymous to like muscle power. It's a personal human power that you can gain. Charm and flattery is one of them, right?
I see what you mean.
Whereas like deception and lying is like a super bad thing.
It's definitely deception.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, how do we get onto abuse? We're talking about mukbang. We're talking about some other
lady
shit
that got abused.
Oh, Zhu Yang. Yeah, and the food shit. Oh, we start with the YouTube shorts and the whole food. The whole, am I addicted? Is it bad for me to watch all these YouTube shorts? That was my true intention of the discussion. Was, am I a bad person? And I think I should not watch as much YouTube shorts. What would be better, reducing YouTube shorts consumption or reducing porn consumption?
Ooh. I kind of think they're on the same level.
Oh, really?
Or actually, I would say reducing porn consumption. Because to me, they're both ways that you like drain your mental dopamine.
I think you're a hater.
And I would imagine that maybe when you're masturbating to porn, you're not watching the whole thing for like 20 minutes straight. Right. If so, then maybe you should learn your body a bit more. Or maybe you're just like taking your time, you know?
It's a story.
But but I feel like you're not watching just to watch. Just like a casual thing playing in the background or whatever it is. And so if you're masturbating at the same time, then you're probably depleting your dopamine stores more than if you were watching short form content.
But
I feel like another negative side of watching short form content is that it kills your attention span.
Well, okay, let me think about it this way. Masturbation could be healthy.
Yeah, it is healthy.
But watching porn isn't, I guess? Is that the thing? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of porn hate lately. Like a lot of people, not porn hate, but it's like, oh yeah, I did a no porn month or some shit, or I did a detox on porn. I just hear this from random podcasts and stuff.
I heard it does something to your brain, but in my opinion, I don't think it in itself is inherently bad. I think maybe if you're always watching a lot of porn and only porn and you don't actually have
like a
life, or maybe you don't have a sex life outside of porn.
Oh yeah, I think that's bad. Like if you're what's it called again? What's that? It
skews your perspective of sex.
Incel. You're an incel. Is that the terminology? Incel is a term associated with mostly online subculture people who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one, and who may blame, objectify, and denigrate women and girls as. Oh no, never mind. Not specifically that. I was just thinking about the first part of the not able to find a romantic or sexual partner. See, like for me, I'll straight up admit, I think I watch a decent amount and I masturbate a decent amount. But if, for example, if Joyce lived with me, I just wouldn't. Like the weeks when my parents were gone, like the weeks she stayed here, I just didn't masturbate.
Yeah.
But like that frequency would have been the same. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I don't know. So I have no idea. Like I think.
What's your opinion on it?
I think I do it. I think every guy thinks they do it a lot, but I don't know what that a lot means.
You can search up the average, I'm sure.
Average, what's the word? Average times someone masturbates.
Average.
Normal frequency. 2 to 3 times each week. Oh, okay, I'm at normal then. If ISSM is correct. What's ISSM first? What's
Yeah, what is this site?
Sorry, this is really hard to read. Okay, Mind Body Green. Quora, Reddit. Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Oh yeah,
let's see Reddit. Average number. Anything that doesn't mean interfere with your health. Blah 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 blah. Oh, that's such a dumb answer. I just want a fucking number.
I want a statistical number.
7 to 10 times. Is this per week?
Yeah.
7 to 10 times is not normal. That means some days you're doing twice a week.
Twice a day.
Oh, sorry, twice a day. What the? 10 to 18 times. Okay, like maybe when I was in like high school or some shit. Okay, NIH. What does NIH say?
Once a week?
Is normal?
That's insane. That's so low.
But does this include sex? Among women, those who desire partnered sex much more often and a little more often were 3.89 times, blah, blah, blah. Among men, those who desired partner sex much more often and a little more often were 4.4 times. Okay, then I'm average then. And 2.37 times. Okay, so it's pretty much what they're saying is between 2 and 5 is what they're saying a week. Okay, then I guess it's a normal amount. But I guess the question is watching porn every time a normal amount?
Oh, interesting.
Like, do you watch porn every time you masturbate?
No.
Oh, really? I think for guys it's like 90% of the time or 95% of the time I do when I masturbate. But yeah, straight up.
Interesting.
Like I feel like using imagination was like such an old thing, like way back.
Why
in the
your
day.
imagination doesn't work anymore?
No, it still works. It's just not as great. Not as like it's not bad, but it's like not because like if I use my imagination, in my opinion, I can only imagine people I've actually seen.
Yeah,
I can't imagine like the video, right? So then that means there's only like a subset of people I can actually imagine about.
Okay.
Right? And like most of them I don't want to imagine about.
Okay, what about your partner?
Very not often. Because we have sex. Right? So it's like, why would I specifically imagine that if we're going to have sex?
Maybe you had moments that were really hot.
By myself?
What? No, with your partner.
No, we're talking about masturbation and watching porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're by yourself, do you ever think about like a moment that you had with Joyce?
No, because we just have these moments on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm very satisfied. So it's like, no, like it's great. I love it on the weekend. It's awesome. And then during the weekday, like if I do imagination, there's only like a subset of people that I find attractive. Of all the girls I know, there's only a subset of people I find attractive. And the subset of that, I feel offended even thinking about it. So there's such a small subset.
Why offended?
I don't know. It's just like, it just feels weird if yeah, it just feels weird if I'm going to think about it. And it's like, it feels weird because like, I'd have to imagine so much. As in like, for example, if it's you, I'd be like, I'd have to imagine what you look like naked. And I was like, no, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, for certain people, it's like, I don't really want to. And even if I do, I don't even know if that's an accurate representation of who you actually are. Right? So it's like, what's the point? Like, so then the only subset I can really think of are like the girls I've used to been with. And that's it.
Oh, that's strange.
Because I've literally physically seen them naked before.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I've seen it, I felt it, so I can kind of imagine a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest would just be like purely fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the purely fantasy is like, it's kind of cool, but it's like it's not that crazy.
Mm.
But maybe that's what porn is doing to me. Maybe it's destroying my imagination.
I heard that's the case.
Yeah.
Would you ever do No Nut November?
No. Why? The problem isn't masturbating. The problem is porn. Why would I do No Nut November? Right? It'd be like a no porn November or some shit. Right?
You're right.
I think I could easily do no porn month if my girlfriend lived with me.
Okay.
I think very, very easily I could do no porn for a whole month if I lived with my partner.
But otherwise,
it'd be rough. It'd be very rough. Right. So take that as you will. I don't know if that's healthy or not healthy. But
the reason why I brought up No Nut November is because I heard that for some guys, when they're abstinent for a month, after that month, they're like, oh, my brain has so much clarity. Before, I didn't realize it, but my receptors were fried. Everything feels so fresh now. My imagination is better. Everything is just better. The climax is better.
I feel like they're lying to
themselves. Or maybe it's just been a fucking month and they're like, fucking finally. My God.
It's like if you haven't eaten meat for a month, man, that first burger tastes pretty fucking good.
That's true.
There's not much of a difference there. And I wouldn't like draw like really big conclusions from that. It just feels like, okay, you just did it. You were craving something, you didn't get it, and then now you got it. So it feels amazing. Like when I satisfy my cravings, like food and stuff, it's amazing. I love it. Right? It's the best feeling ever. But I don't know. I feel like it's synonymous to that.
That's true.
But yeah, I wouldn't forcibly deprive myself, in my opinion. And like maybe porn, but that'd be rough. I'd definitely have to live with my partner or something like that.
I get it.
But that's crazy. So that's not the same for girls. Hey, girls don't really watch porn or watch a lot less.
I don't know. Actually, I don't really talk to girls that much about.
Really?
Stuff. Yeah.
Same. I literally don't ask. I've literally never asked a girl about this. I don't ask about that shit. I assume they watch only a little less compared to guys, is what I've assumed in the past. Because every time I talk to any group of girls, they're like, girls are super horny too. I was like, okay, sure.
Yeah, but there's also girls that say they don't masturbate at all.
Really? You think
or watch at all? No.
Oh, they're not lying?
I
think they're like just super Christian or something?
I think there's some that just literally...
They just don't. They just don't have the enjoyment or desire.
Yeah, like I'd imagine it's really rare to hear a guy that doesn't masturbate. But for girls, I've heard it a bunch of times.
Really? So if a guy told me he doesn't masturbate, like, that guy's a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. But I take that same mentality to girls. If a girl told me that, like, nah, you're a fucking liar too.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I feel like, no one's better than anyone. Like, we're all the same. We all fart and shit.
I don't think it's about being better.
We're all a little different, so,
I feel like there definitely are some girls that don't feel that need or desire.
It's kind of sad.
Strange, right?
Very strange. Like, I just still don't believe it, even if they told me. I'd be like, I get it if you don't do it. Like, if a girl told me they only did it once a month, I'll be like, yeah, cool. Like, whatever you do, right? But if a girl told me they'd never done it before, I'm like, no way. No fucking way.
Maybe never tried before is different than...
They don't do it often?
Or it's not really a thing that they do.
Oh, so
you could have tried skateboarding once, but it's not the same as saying like, oh, I skateboard.
So like, for example, they'll be like, I've done it before, but I haven't done it in the last year. Would be something one of your friends might say to you.
Maybe, yeah.
I'd be like, that's fucking weird. I'd be like, dude, that's why you're so fucking angry all the time. That's the first thing I'd say. See, that's the thing. That's why I can't meet random people, because that's the first thing I'd say if they told me that. And then I would feel like that person would feel offended. And I'd be like, no, you're fucking weird.
I can see it. I can see it for sure.
Yeah. I still wouldn't believe them too. But you're a liar. You're a filthy, disgusting liar. You're probably one of those like, yeah. Those super like disgusting girls.
Disgusting? Why disgusting?
Because she's a liar.
Oh, interesting.
And she probably does it all the time, and she's lying.
Interesting.
That's what I would think of. But
I do feel like some of the girls that have told me that
they don't do it.
Yeah, aren't lying though.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that uncommon to hear.
Really? Okay. I mean, I don't ask, so that's why I don't know.
Or maybe they're just really embarrassed or shy. But I would imagine in the context of the conversation, where it's a private conversation, I feel like the friend is relatively close to me or good enough of a friend that they wouldn't shy away from saying this. But who knows?
So, okay, I have another weird question for girls. And like, there's a, maybe it's myth or something, but I feel like there's a general thought out there where it's like the shy and quiet girls are like the super sexual ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's true?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the experience.
Oh, like from your friends. Like, do you have friends that on the outset they're super shy and quiet, but then when you talk to them, you're like, oh shit, this girl's fucking nasty. And then maybe true the other way too, where it's like the girls who talk a lot aren't actually that crazy in bed or anything like that.
I know examples of both.
Oh, okay. So there's some truth, but not a general truth.
Out of the people that I know and the stuff that I know, nothing on either side is consistent enough to give a type of profile to somebody being loud or quiet and it showing some type of way.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's what I thought too. I thought it was just kind of random, probably. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily about that. But also, I do think that I always had thought like the shy and quiet girls, in my opinion, or in my mind, they're like, oh, they're like suppressing this a bit more. So then maybe they're kinkier in bed.
Oh, interesting.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not willing to talk about it publicly as much because, you know, they're a bit shy and stuff. And that suppression of discussion might make them more, like, kinky and willing to try shit and stuff. But I could be wrong about that. I have no idea.
My impression with that stereotype is that people think that when somebody has one type of personality, it transcends into all other aspects in their life.
No, I think about the opposite. If someone's super wild, I think that maybe they're not that crazy in bed. And if someone's like super tame in like real life, like, you know, home by 9 p.m., you know, I won't try the beef tataki, you know, like super tame shit. Then in my mind, I'm like, oh, this girl's probably fucking kinky as shit.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is that, but because it doesn't transpire to all, I think it's more commonplace that your personality changes depending on who you're with. Not changes completely, but like other sides of you will come out or whatever, depending on who you're with, what environment you're in. Like some people might be more quiet around a large group of people or more quiet around people they don't know, but when they're around their closest friends, they can't stop fucking talking.
Oh, so it sounds like you're fucking talking about me right now. Okay? Seems like some psychological manipulation you're trying to
do. Or there's some people that are very, yes it is, some people that are very extroverted.
Yeah.
But just because they're extroverted doesn't mean that they're wild in bed too. They might just be.
Yeah, that's true. Like they're super extroverted, and as soon as they're with their boyfriend, they're like super quiet and shit.
Yeah.
Damn, what a dumb bitch.
I feel like that's why it seems so highlighted.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's just like random. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, enough of the disgusting talk. We're gonna talk a little bit about stress.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about it?
Okay.
I blanked out before.
I've been having a really stressful week. Well, really, like, in terms of work, I feel like my stress has just been going up and up and up the last few months since last year. But in the last few weeks, it's been skyrocketing. And in this last week, it's just been a lot. The last 2 weeks, actually, it's been a lot. And so throughout the week, sometimes I think about random podcast topics for us to talk about.
Yeah.
And I thought about talking about stress because we've talked about a lot of the other emotions throughout the years and how we experience it, how we deal with it. But I don't think stress has ever really been one.
Let me think. How do you define it? How do you deal with it?
I personally think that I have a high threshold for stress.
Yeah.
Because to a degree, I think that if you're under a decent level of stress, then you actually get work done faster because you almost kind of have no choice but to lock in.
Yep.
And sometimes that feels really good to me. and it feels like I have a like fire up my bum for me to get shit done.
Yeah.
And so I would say with a certain level of stress, I thrive in it really well.
Nice. That's good.
But then when it gets to a level that I feel like is too much, I feel like that experience is kind of rare. And so because I've been feeling really stressed lately, this whole experience is a little bit more rare for me than not. And I feel like I get to this level of stress when I feel like I'm always playing catch up, and no matter how much work I do, I can't exactly not meet deadlines, but catch up and get ahead, which I'm more used to and which is what I prefer. But at work, because I've been getting so much work added to my plate, it feels like, right when I'm done something, it's already been given to me on a extremely short timeline. Once I get that done, there's already, not even exaggerating, like 10 other things that have been added onto my plate. Or when I'm like 90% done, I'm just told to, okay, just delegate whatever else you have left because we need you to go headstrong, all boots on deck, right into this other project.
Right.
That takes priority over everything else. And this one has a 2-week deadline, or this one has a 3-day deadline, things like that. And it's insane. And sometimes I tell myself that, okay, regardless of the deadline, regardless of how much work you get done, all you can do is to try your best and give in your full effort. So at the end of the day, no matter whatever gets done is whatever gets done. You can't extrude more effort than your best.
Yep.
And I think that is pretty comforting. But then when it's consistent that I feel like I'm only just playing catch up or not even, then that's when the stress builds up for me.
Does this happen more like work related?
Oh yeah, this is like completely all work related.
Yeah, so for me, I'm almost never stressed at work. Almost. Like work and school has never really stressed me. It's actually like personal stuff that always stresses me. So like, and it's not specifically like any one personal thing. It's always like combination of shit. It's like, oh, I got to do that, and like all 3-4 different things from my personal life, and I'm busy at work. Then I might start feeling it.
Yeah.
But if it's purely just work that's busy, then I don't feel it too much. Like I feel the most stressed at work when I make a mistake, and that's it. Like other than that, if I'm busy, I'm busy. And then if like my boss is expecting more, then it's just like, well, then like I'm not, I know I'm putting my best effort.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want more than that, then it's either your expectations are wrong or I'm not the right guy for the job. Right. And that's just kind of how I think about it. Like I was like, I can't do this any faster than I can. And then if I do, it's just there's going to be mistakes. So that's something you have to live with. Right. And then if my boss is okay with either of those situations, then I'm like, all right, then I'm not stressed now. And it's like, everything's cool.
That completely makes sense.
For work. And then for like personal life, it's only stressful when there's like just like random shit happening. And it's just like, oh, I got to call the airline for this thing. And I got to do some other shit for this thing. I'm waiting for an answer for this thing. Or there's some like medical issue or something. That's when all those things pile on, then I might feel it a little bit. Yeah. But like, okay, so we kind of explained where we get it. Like, what do you feel when you're in it?
I feel like because my threshold for stress is typically like pretty high, in my opinion, I mentally don't think about anything. I mentally don't really feel stressed, but I know my body holds on to stress. So I'll subconsciously shrug my shoulders a lot. And that's why I get a lot of knots in my mid back. And then I also clench my teeth a lot. And so lately I've been noticing that because I know that I'm actually stressed now, I feel a lot of soreness and aches in my back. And then my jaws like sore 24/7 because I'll wake up with my teeth clenched. Yep. And then I get headaches all the time.
That's rough. That sounds like it's actually affecting your health.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I think for me, for the most part, if I get my normal hours of sleep, I would never really feel the stress pile on. But when I do start lacking the sleep because of the stress, shit.
Yeah, because just
then I'll start feeling it a lot, and I feel like that's just naturally ties into not getting enough sleep. Like in my mind, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, oh, it's like I don't think about the stress causing it. I think about I'm not getting enough sleep, and why am I not getting enough sleep? Because I'm so busy with all this stressful work.
So it's a cyclical thing.
Kind of, but it's like, okay, I could break the cycle by not, doing this one thing I do, like by not watching these random videos at night before or whatever like that. Like I don't do it often, but yeah, like it could affect my sleep if I do, right?
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean that's how I don't know. Like it's hard. Like I feel like in the moment I feel stressed, maybe, but right after, like a day after, that was whatever.
Oh yeah, like after you get the shit done, right?
Yeah. Or even if I'm still in doing the shit, like I was at the moment feeling it a little bit, sweating a little bit, thinking about the stuff. But I don't know, like I feel like to me that doesn't feel like stress. It just I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it. It just feels like, oh, this is just life. But I guess life is shitty, so I don't know. Like life is stressful, so whatever. Yeah,
I don't think life is just inherently stressful.
Yeah, but it feels like if you want to meet like societal expectations, it's gonna be stressful.
Interesting. I see.
Because like societal expectations is like, oh, you gotta like climb the ladder or do better or all this shit like that, right? And if you think about it like that, then yeah, could be stressful.
Could be stressful if it's not something that you want.
That's true, actually. If you're just
otherwise, it's about motivational and
it's
something true. You want to get to. I know that I'm stressed when I think about work outside of work hours.
Yeah.
And I'm dreaming about it, or I'm like, oh, I have a spare 2 hours. Maybe I should work on this project a little, which is what I've been just doing.
Yeah. That's not good, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like for me, like, I mean, it's not the best mentality, but it's like, dude, I'm going to try my best, which I don't do all the time. I'm going to try my best when I'm at work, do my best and work as hard as I can to a limit, right? You can't work full 8 hours in your shift. Like it's hard to do like a full 8 hour. Like to be working like nonstop without any breaks, that's pretty rough. But at the same time, when I'm leaving, I'm like, fuck you guys all, I'm done. Like I'm done, my brain's off. Because like sometimes my boss will come to me and be like, oh, you know what I thought last night, like the solution to this problem.
Oh my god, that's been happening to me too.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, you know what, I don't think after work, just to let you know. Because he was talking to me about it. I was like, you know what, when I go home from work, I just enjoy my life. I have a pretty great life outside of work, and I like to keep it that way. It's
a very good balance and boundary that you have there.
Yeah, I mean, it might be
I'm typically like that too.
It could be the thing that's stopping me from, say, advancing more.
I don't think so.
But I think at the end of the day, let's go back to the fundamentals. On my deathbed, I wouldn't care how many hours I worked.
For sure.
And I wouldn't care how much effort I put in. I just care about like, my family, my friends, and the shit I valued.
Oh, for sure.
Like my hobbies and shit. So then, yeah, most of the time, especially my current roles and my current positions, it's like, dude, you pay me this much, I'm going to do that work and I'm fucking leaving. And when I leave, I'm going to do all my other great hobbies because I have a life outside of work. Because like I feel like a lot of people at work don't have lives, unfortunately. So they keep thinking about work outside of work, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, nope, I have great hobbies. I have great friends. I have great activities I do after work. And I'm not going to think about this shit. But
I love it.
That doesn't happen in every position. Like my positions before didn't allow that because they like, I had the biggest mistake, which is I had a work phone. So they would call me after work. I'm like, fuck.
Doesn't mean you had to pick up.
I mean, sometimes it is because it's like the work you're planning is like a night shift shit. Like the work you're planning is night shift, right? So they'll call you at 9 p.m. Like, oh, we want some clarification for the shit. I'm like, fuck, I gotta pick this up.
I mean, you don't have to.
I mean, it's part of my job description, I assume. Yeah, so I kind of have to. But yeah.
I mean, I've had some projects where they had to implement it over the weekend or after hours, and everyone knows that. Like I only work until a certain hour, and so if they reach me then I feel like I'm good at.
Oh yeah.
I won't reply back until my actual working hours or my fucking. Actually, no, this is too personal for work stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, reaching me outside of work, I won't respond.
Yeah, I mean,
work hours.
I feel like, people with a work phone, it fucking sucks. Like if you have a work cell phone, or if you put your cell phone into like work stuff. I was like, that's fucking dicey. Like I think at my current place, there's like some stuff where you can it's like some safety stuff or some other stuff where you can report things on your phone, like with an app.
Oh, cool.
It's like, oh yeah, instead of like filling out the form like by paper, like you can do it on the app. It's like super fast and convenient. I'm like, if you don't give me a work phone, I'm not using it. I was like, I'm not putting any work shit on my personal phone. That's a personal thing, and I'm not giving my personal number to anyone.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, there's like 2 people or like 3 people at work that has my personal number, and one of them is my boss, and 2 of them are like friends at work, right? So it's like I don't give anyone else my number because of that reason. Because I was like, I don't want these fucking creeps to call me at random times.
I fully agree, but do you guys have Teams?
What do you mean? Like Microsoft Teams?
Yeah.
It's not on my phone.
Oh, really?
I don't have anything connected to my work. Like the only thing connected to work on my phone is like when I sign in through shit, sometimes they have to like text me a number to like punch in.
Like Google Authenticator?
Yeah. That's it. Like that's the only time I like give my phone stuff. And other than that, like I won't get any message. Like sometimes I'll get a call at like, so I work till 6 usually, and my boss usually is at 4:30. I'll get a call at like 5:30. He's like talking to me about some work shit. I'm like, all right, it's up to you, dude. But like at 6, I'm gone. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like that, but not everyone can do that. I agree. Like, if you have your own business, there's no way you can do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then if you're in a managerial position, there's no way you can do that either, in my opinion. To do, like it's not expected of you, but I know how my managers work in all of my jobs that I've ever done, and there are definitely times they are around not during work hours because they're super busy, and there are emergencies that they have to answer. So that's why they put their personal cell phone in the thing. So if like there's an emergency in this project, they'll literally like the boss will call them and get the solution or whatever.
That's true. I've definitely done that before.
Yeah. So it's like maybe that commitment is what it takes for me to get to the next corporate level, but I don't want to be in that level right now.
I don't think that's the I don't think that commitment in that way is what would be the sole cause of preventing you from moving up in the corporate ladder.
True. Maybe I'm not
without that wouldn't mean anything.
Maybe I'm not that good of a worker. That could be the core reason. Not my commitment level, but my abilities right now.
I don't think so. I think there are people that will live and die for their work, but it'll never really show too. Yeah.
Like I keep thinking back, maybe when I was younger, I always thought like, you know what, I want to be that manager that's, you know, always there making sure shit's good and stuff. But now in my current time, in my personal opinion, in my mind right now, I'm gonna be like, do I want to be a manager one day? Maybe yes. And I want to be the one where if it's my home time, I'm going home to my family. And then when I come here for work, I will give it my all. But when it's home time, I'm going home to my family.
Oh, for sure.
But not 4 out of 5 of my managers in my career is not like that. They have to, they're always on, if that makes sense. So I was like, maybe I can't, maybe it's so rare that it's impossible, right? So I don't know.
I think it would be really fun to be a manager where you can, everyone knows that you're good at your job, obviously, and you make things realistic. Where you'll say things like, all right, guys, it's, I don't know, 4:27. I'm done my tasks for the day. I'm going to leave. Instead of being like, oh, everyone has to leave exactly at 4:30. Or whatever. Or even just who cares about the time when your people get their projects done. And who cares if they're online or whatever the heck. As long as they're available and their projects get done, and it doesn't really matter when they clock in or clock out or however long their lunch break is. Like that's like realistic.
I mean, it works the best if, I mean, this just goes into like work philosophy too. Like in my work philosophy, I love like a small direct team. All the people you work with are like really close to you. Like you can access them very easily. So then you have instant progress and everyone understands urgency. But once you get to a big corporation, that doesn't happen.
I think that's really hard too, though, if your team doesn't have everyone on board or everyone isn't as efficient as everyone else. Like if there's one person that just isn't that great at their job, or they're slightly slower, they're like not as good at communicating, whatever it is, I feel like that already kind of slows your team down.
Yeah, but it seems like that's just reality. That seems like a corporate issue. Like if I could build a team, I only need so many people to get so much progress in, right? And it's like, I don't know about you, but sometimes at my workplace, I'm waiting for an answer from someone else. And that's the worst thing in the world. Like that's the thing that bottlenecks most projects, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And when you look at it from a human level, it's like, oh yeah, that person's a subject matter expert. Like you can't get access to him all the time. He will take a week to answer the stuff, right? Then in my opinion, I'll like, okay, then either we're making our shit too complicated that we need a subject matter expert, or our shit's not urgent enough. Like those are the two things that's happening right now. Because if our shit's urgent enough, that person has to get this done right now.
Or you should have an SME on your team already.
Exactly, right? So it's like something is wrong with this, but in every corporation I've worked with, it's always happened like that. But the best like times I've had in terms of progress is always like very small projects or very small groups of people doing a massive amount of work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it feels less stressful from that too. Because it's like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we get it done. There's like no ambiguity and question mark. And I feel like that's where my stress sometimes come from. It's just like, okay, my boss wants me to get this done this day. I'm waiting for this guy to answer me. I'm like, the fuck you want me to do? Like, I can CC you in all the fucking emails and you'll see exactly what I'm waiting for. And then as soon as that person's done, I didn't know until that person gives me an answer to have to do these extra things. And my boss was like, oh, why can't you like pre-set up those things? I was like, I don't like, you want me to do everything pre-set up prior to him coming and only using like 5% of the work I've actually done. Like that's not efficient either.
Yeah.
Right. So that's in my opinion, like coming back to stress, like that's probably the most stressful times I get at work. If I just have a long list of shit to do, that doesn't really stress me out too much. I just be like, I have a long list of shit to do. And my boss is like, when is it done? I'm like, when it's done. I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, I'm not working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only time that stressed me out. And I feel like at the most part, at my age and level of like work and stuff, it's like everyone kind of understands. Like you only get so much done in a day, so you can only get so much done. It's like
I fully agree with that idea too, because that's how I would typically apply myself. Because you can just try your best. And you can only output a certain amount of work. Yeah. And you can't do anything more. Yeah. Like if you're slacking, then obviously you can do more. But if you're putting in your best, then that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's true.
And so there's no point in like logically, there's no point in stressing more. But if it's a constant thing of, oh, you just finished a project, then you have like 20 things added again, and you have to manage like 3 things within a short amount of timeline. And it's not necessarily that you can reject certain projects. Yeah. But it's just, okay, just make it fucking work. And then I've done the thing where I've said, look, I have too much on my plate, or this timeline is too short for me to put out quality work or to even finish the whole thing. I can only give you the bare bones, the skeleton, or whatever it is. There's only so much you can do when either that idea gets rejected.
Oh, like the idea that you can only get so much done gets rejected?
Yeah, like saying like, oh, I can only get like parts A, B, C done. And they're like, oh, can you at least do D2? And it's like, oh, no, I can't. But then
maybe they learn to say no to that. Or you just can't say no?
I've said no before, but then I feel like...
Can you make it super awkward for them? That's what I would do. I'd just be like, no, but like, here's the number of hours I have. Here's the things and how much each of these hours cost for each of these things.
Yeah.
So it's like you have $100 at the grocery store, sir. You can only buy so much.
I feel like it's hard when you're
when you're a manager, it's probably hard.
Yeah, because you have to also manage and delegate tasks to other people, and when other people slow things down, it's kind of on you to make sure everything is up to speed. Yeah. And so it's not just managing your own work, but ensuring that the timeline of everything runs exactly like how you told upper management or told stakeholders and stuff. And so I feel like that part is also stressful. Or even if you say like, oh, I can only get A to B done. Yeah. What if you actually said, okay, I can get A, B, C done. And then when you're going through A and B, you realize that there's a huge wrench in your cog. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, I can't even get A, B, C done. Yeah.
No, like what I've said too. Like that's the most stressful part. Is like when the expectations don't align, and then they start like semi-blaming, and then that's when it gets stressful, right? That's why like maybe this is bad on me, and maybe this is also why. But I just straight up don't really commit. I just be like, they're like, can you get this done? I'm like, probably, but I don't know. Like I haven't started. But if I've already started, then I'll be then I can give them a yes or no. It's like I've started. I know what it's gonna take.
Yeah.
And then if not, I'll be like I don't know. Like I'll just straight up say I don't know, and then they'll be like why, and I'm like this is why, and then if my bosses help me at that moment, they'll be like okay, then we'll get you help for that. Then I'll be like okay, perfect, no problem. And then if they don't, I'll be like I don't know why, you don't know how, I don't know what you want me to
I guess
fucking
we've reached
do.
an impasse.
Yeah, I was like I'm gonna do other shit then.
It's on you now.
Yeah, like pretty much I just delegate up. I was just like dude, if you can help me do this as my manager, great. If you can't, I'm fucked too. So we're both fucked.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of my position sometimes because I'm the team lead. And so they're like, if you can't do it, I can't do it, then it's on you to figure it out. Yeah. So then it's on me to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think another thing with putting out projects is that even if I've said that I can do ABC, once I've done C and I realize I still have maybe like 5-10 minutes or whatever the amount of time is, maybe like half a day or a couple hours left to do. It feels bad for me to put out a project that's not fully complete, even if I've reached the parts or even if I've covered the parts that I said I could do within the allotted amount of time. If you know that, okay, if I just try and like finish this next part, at least it'll be a little more complete, or at least it'll complete the last complete part that I just did, or at least I'll wrap it up to a decent degree instead of leaving all these bits and bobs untied. And then every single time, that part also feels pretty bad, I would say. If you can't fully complete a project, even if it's had an absurd timeline or it's an absurd size or whatever it is, it still feels bad to put out a project that you know isn't fully complete.
Yeah. I mean, I don't deal with that as much.
Yeah.
Because now I'm stamping shit. It's like I cannot put out stuff that's not complete. So then I just don't. Then they'll be asking me like, why is it not done? I was like, I'm reviewing. It's like, but it's a different position, right? I mean, yours is really rough in that position because you have to just give what you can give.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, do you feel bad about that? Because like, did you tell them in advance like this is the max you can do, right? Yeah. So like sometimes in my projects, like when I'm doing like Power BI stuff for my other boss, like, I told him was like I'm only given this many hours as much as I can do. There's gonna be like I didn't fully debug this, so there's gonna be issues, right? So then I feel like as soon as I say that and he's okay with it, and then I put it out, then I feel not as bad when there's mistakes.
Oh yeah,
I'll be like, okay, fuck it, I'll just eat it.
I still feel bad.
I feel
so I'm like, okay, if you just gave me like an extra day or an extra week or an extra month, because sometimes these projects have been scaled down to a third or even a fifth of their usual length for their timelines. I'm like, then I could have finished it and done so well.
Yeah, I mean, how about think about it this way? All the do you remember all the projects you've done really well? And then do you remember all the projects where you've made a mistake? And what I suspect is you probably remember the projects you've made mistakes more than you've actually done well on. I suspect. I'm not sure. Like
I would say equal, because sometimes when I do really well on a project, I'll literally screenshot it and I'll send it to my personal account, and when I have spare time, I'll go back and I'll scroll through it. And I'm like, oh, it looks so good.
Yeah. So so maybe it's my personality, but I only remember the mistakes. I remember them really hard. So for the most part, it's just like, it's nice because like I can learn from them, and I'll always learn from them and remember them more because that's always like in my brain. Whereas the good stuff, it's like I don't learn shit. Like it's good. I'm outputting, but my personal development hasn't really changed from this.
Oh, what if you learned a lot and you ended up
outputting something
out really good work?
Yeah, but like I learned a lot. Okay, I usually learn more from mistakes than successes.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So like I could learn a lot to get that job done, and it could feel really good. And then that's just in the back of my mind now. It's like, oh yeah, I kind of learned this shit. I kind of know how to do it because I did it once and I figured it out. But if I tried to figure it out and I failed, I would learn so much more from that. Right. So then it's like, I did it, I figured it out, and it succeeded. But was that a success by chance or not? I don't know, but it succeeded. But then when I failed, it's like I 100% failed. So then I knew for sure all the mistakes, and now I know how I would have done it differently.
What if you failed partway through the project and you learned how you would have changed and done things differently, and you had time to fix it within the project, so that in the end, the project that you outputted was just great.
Yeah, but then so like, what do you count as fail? Like if I fucked up middle way through the project and I could find a way to fix it, yeah, I would remember that fuck up because I don't want to do it again because I don't want to redo shit. But I wouldn't count that as a failure either because I'd be like, oh, I caught it before I sent it out, so that means it's still like work in progress. Like I don't really consider failures and work in progress really like a massive failure because it's like I'm doing it and then I made a mistake here and then yeah, I'll remember that mistake specifically, but I won't remember this entire project now.
What do you have stand-up meetings where you show the progress on your projects?
I fucking hate those.
And you display or you like run your programs or your projects to show how they're going in and it's just completely a different direction or it just failed.
Oh yeah, all the time.
That level.
All the time, like demos and shit.
Yeah,
sometimes on like the Power BI shows. Yeah, so sometimes it fucks up, but no one else knows how to do it. So it's already amazing. And at my company, it's already amazing because no one else.
You see it fuck up, but they don't know it fucked up. They're all like, "Wow, that looks great," and you're like, "That's not how it's supposed to go."
Yeah, pretty much. And then yeah, we have like progress meetings. Like I get it; it makes sense for like. So I'm okay with progress meeting where you just like show like, okay, this is my progress and all this shit like that. But I hate progress meetings where it's like the week before your manager just assigned you a bunch of shit and you just have to get it done by next week. And I'm just like, dude, like you assigned it to me. Doesn't mean I can for sure get this all done. You assigned it to me with the assumption that you think that's how long it takes for me to get it done, but you didn't do all of these projects. So then the next week comes, everyone's, you're in a meeting with all your coworkers and you're all saying how much you got done and how much you didn't get done. It just feels kind of bad because it's like, yeah, like my coworker there only got one of his 5 projects done, but I worked with him on that and it was a really fucking hard project, right? Yeah. Like we're lucky we got that done, right? Yeah. Whereas like my other coworker got like 8 out of 10 things done on his list and it's like, dude, like his shit was all easy. So it's like all of this is so, I don't know, I just feel like those meetings, those group progress meeting is not that useful in my opinion. Because I feel like the meeting should be not necessarily a group progress meeting if there's no group interaction with it, right? Like if it's my stuff I'm doing, then like what? I agree, right? But if there is some like lessons learned between like projects, then yeah, we should talk about that and shit. And then we should talk about like the overall direction where we're getting to, overall goals and shit. But like I just hate those meetings where they're just like kind of singling everyone out and be like, oh, how much did you get done this week? Oh, how much did you get done this week? I was like, they call it accountability, but I just feel like it just makes everyone feel bad. It just makes everyone feel like...
I think that's an old way of running meetings.
Yeah, maybe I'm working in really old, shitty companies. But yeah, it's like, it just feels kind of shitty. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? It's
like comparing.
Yeah, my shit was bad. Yeah, okay, I had a shitty week. It is what it is, right? I fucking hate those type of progress meetings. I still have them now. Like, a lot of companies still do that. And a lot of companies I've worked with, a lot of like very corporate and very engineering companies, they all still do that.
Oh,
it's just like, dude, this is like fucking dumb. I was like, I can only get done what I can get done, and then it just feels weird because you're kind of being judged with your peers on that. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, feels bad at least.
All of my progress meetings are either 1-on-1s or 1-on-2s in a way, and the 1-on-2 isn't like, it's just my manager and then my boss and me. Or for my team, it would be, I have this, I forgot, there's a name for this type of meeting where it's not a regular group meeting. You just have people continuously update their progress inside this like Slack channel.
Yeah.
Whenever they tend to work on something. So you just know where everyone's standing. So you never actually need to hold these meetings.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any actual questions, then they have their own little group set up to like ask questions if they're working in tangent with each other on a project.
Yeah.
And then you have your 1-on-ones with each person every like 2 weeks. So that saves like so much time in terms of meetings. And then no one really needs to like hear how anyone else is doing unless you're working together in a project.
Yeah, I think those are so much better. Because I feel like those meetings end up just being a meeting full of excuses. That's it. It's just like, I don't want to make these excuses. But if we're all going to make excuses, I'll make excuses too. Because this is a fucking dumbass meeting, right?
And for your own personal time, you're also wasting time hearing how other people are doing. And that just, You don't need that.
Like back in construction, we literally had like a 3-hour meeting once a week where everyone updates everyone on their progress with their crews. And half the time I was like,
what the fuck am I here?
I was like, why am I here? And then they'll be, oh, Alvin, how was your cruise? I was like, they didn't do half the shit we told them to do. And then the next week I would be like, okay, set expectation lower. And then ever since I set expectation lower, I'm like, yeah, they did that. So then all that I end up doing is like, I'm just going to set expectations so fucking low. So then I'll always meet them for my cruise and stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So then it just became like a useless 3 hours every fucking week. I was like, dude, we could do so much more with this 3 hours. But yeah, in general, like those progress meetings, I feel like are, I don't know, they're kind of dumb. I think for the most part, they're for the client more than anything. But I feel like if within the workspace, we don't need that.
I fully agree. I heard there was this whole movement when, you know how people talk about work a lot when it comes to, oh, the 4-day work week, or, oh, should people work from home or work within the office? How much remote hours should people be allowed to have? Or what's the progress between working from home versus working in the office?
Yeah.
Or are meetings actually that valuable? Yeah. Something that I like in my office is that I've been trying to really push this movement of not having stupid meetings.
Yeah.
And useless meetings. And I'm very happy to say that I've canceled 5 regular meetings from my schedule within the last year. Or last, okay, I guess this year just started. But I had 1, 2, 3, 4, or no, not 5, 4. I had 4 regular meetings every week, and they're all like about an hour long. One of them is 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And they're all gone now. Because I kept pointing out how useless it is.
Yeah.
And how, just fucking useless it is.
Yeah.
Because 2 of them were my one-on-ones. And one of them was a team meeting, like a upper management meeting. And one of them was my team meeting.
Yeah.
So I got rid of mine because I was like, actually, this is fucking useless. And I talked to like my boss and my manager and the upper management team and was like, hey guys, all these update meetings, they're all basically update meetings. I was like, these are all useless.
Yeah, we can just have an email. Done.
Yeah.
Update
email or create a channel where if you want to see someone's progress on something, you can just visually see it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we don't all need to sit in this meeting and chat for whatever fucking amount of time every single week.
Yep. I agree. I fucking hate those meetings. They're so dumb.
Usually if you're working in tangent with other people for a project, you kind of know where the project is standing.
Yeah.
So there's no point in everyone gathering in on that meeting and saying, oh yeah, like as you've heard 5 minutes ago or like yesterday since we're talking about the project.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to hear that for a second, third, whatever amount of time.
Yeah. I really wish like they could just get rid of bottlenecks like that and stuff, in my opinion. Because like it's so demoralizing when you're working on something. And you get to a point and then they're like, oh, we need the subject matter expert's opinion on this or something like that. And be like, okay. And then the subject matter expert's like, I'll let you know next week. I'm like, I did all this work. I'm about ready to get this done and now I have to wait a week.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is the dumbest shit ever. These are the...
It's also like, why did I try so hard for this last whatever amount of days to get this done by a certain date?
Yeah. So I was like, I understand you guys like respect subject matter expert and you want their opinion and shit, but like, if you're going to run this like a business, it's going to be very, very inefficient, but it's up to you guys.
I think it's very valuable at that point to communicate to whoever's overseeing your project that, hey, I've done everything on my end for this, and now we're just waiting for XYZ. Yeah,
but the problem is what they're going to say is like, oh, but you know, you could get this stuff ready so when they're done, you can like do this stuff in parallel. And it goes back to the, I could prepare for fucking plan A to Z right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, prepare for all these plans. You give me enough time, I'll have plan A through double Z. They'll all be ready. And as soon as he gives me an answer, I'll use 1% of my work.
Oh yeah. Like
and I have just complete fucking waste. And then that's like, at least in my opinion, that's what all shitty managers will say. Like, oh, you can plan it so then when they're, you know, when they have an answer to you, then you can like, you know, just grab that and go with it. I was like, dude, like you like I just wanted to like talk to them and be like, dude, you've been in my exact position before. You know what the fuck this is, right?
Yeah.
Like this is fucking bullshit is what it is.
Or I could go tend to the other 20 things on my list.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they'll come back to you the next week and be like, oh, why isn't this done? I'm like, dude, we just talked about this last week, dude. Like this literally we just talked about this. But you can't do that because, you know, the whole corporate shit and stuff, and you can't just be that disrespectful with your boss.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, I don't know, like, this is the good and bad thing about, like, part of consulting and band travel, or just any engineering consulting, I think, is that they like to just like set some stuff aside. Like they like to overshoot their hours, or not overshoot. Like they like to like estimate high hours so they have more time. So it's like they're always covered, even if they're.
I do feel like a lot of companies do that in general, anyways.
Yeah, even if they're inefficient, they're covered with the amount of hours and stuff. So then it's like, oh, they can't get to it. We'll wait for the SME. We'll do some other random shit.
Because you'd rather under promise and over deliver than the opposite.
For the most part, yeah. But yeah, like that's where most of my stress comes from in work. But like I said, it's not that much. It's not as much as you, for sure.
How do you deal with stress when you feel stressed?
I whack off. No, just kidding.
Perfect.
It's perfect, right? See why I'm not stressed ever?
It's a hack.
So like in the state of stress, I'm just like mindless. Like you just do, right?
Yeah.
You just get up and go. You're like, you don't want to. Your body's aching. Everything's creaking, but you just go and you just keep doing it. That's what I do in stress. It's like I turn off the feeling part of my brain and I just keep doing until I'm done doing. And then
like you're only stressed because you have a certain amount of things on your list. So the only way to not be stressed is to get rid of those things on your list by getting shit done.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like there's no like that type of stress is very easy in my opinion because it's
I think so too.
It's a very clear thing. It's just you have to do it, but like you know what to do, so it's like easy. But like when you don't know what to do, so for example, here's a very stressful situation that I would say hypothetical. Like I just got my blood work done. My doctor called me and be like, "Oh, you need some more checkup because you might be prone to like ball cancer or something like that." Right? That would be very stressed because like I don't know what I can even do.
Yeah.
Right? And like I could search for everything in the world, but I still won't get an answer until I go to that checkup. Right? That's a different type and level of stress, and those are the stuff that actually affects me.
Yes.
And those are all very personal. Like when it comes to just pure work shit, at the end of the day, like there's many times at work where I've accepted I'm gonna get fired. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Right? Like you go to work, you know the last week you fuck something up, and you just go to work and you're like, I've already accepted it. I took the weekend to accept this. I will get fired. Right? And then you don't get fired. And you're like, okay, good. I can move on with my life.
This is the best week of my life.
Right? But that's whatever. Like for me, in my opinion, that's just whatever. Like that's a mistake. You tried to fix it. It didn't get fixed. I don't care. You fire me. 'Tis life. I made the mistake. I'll just own up to it, right? But then the shit where it's like, oh, something's wrong with Taro. Oh, something like, your mom had a bad diagnosis of something. Oh, something's wrong with your sister. Oh, your really, really good friend got into a car accident. Like that's the shit that really stresses me out.
Oh yeah.
Right. And when that stuff stresses me out, those are the hardest ones because you can't really do anything. Right. Like you're waiting for something, which is the hardest part.
Waiting is hard.
Yeah. Whereas like all these other stress, I just keep doing it. Right. Like my car stresses the shit out of me. Well, what can I do? Well, it's the most stressful when I have to find a solution. I'll go to my computer, I'll search a bunch of things, and I'll try to figure it out. Like that's the hard part is like when you don't know and you gotta figure something out. But as soon as you know and you just know it's gonna take 3 hours, and it's just like, yeah, it's stressful. It takes a while, but you just do it. Right? So and then how I deal with that? Well, the waiting stuff kind of sucks. Like you can't really. There's no other way than distraction, in my opinion.
And what do you do then?
I don't know. Just work on other shit. I have like a fuck ton of hobbies. So I usually just work on some other hobbies or some other activities, but it's still on the back of my mind, which sucks, right? But I guess what I was trying to say is like the work stuff doesn't get to me as much as that.
Yeah.
But once it gets personal, where it's like I can have a job, I can have many jobs, and I can get fired.
When you said I can have a job, I can have many jobs, kind of sound like Trump.
Yes.
How he talks.
Yeah. I can also get fired, but I currently only have one dog. I only have one mom. I only have one dad. I only have one sibling. I only have two siblings. I only have these certain friends, right? So when it's something super valuable and there's this whole waiting thing, then it gets me super stressed out. Dealing with that, I don't know like a good way other than distraction, to be honest. Because it's even with distraction, it's still always in the back of your mind. Like I think I've like lost sleep more from those situations than from work type of situations.
Oh, for sure.
Like from work and school, like as much as we've talked about like in the last half an hour about how stressful and dumb like certain work stuff is, that in my opinion pales in comparison when it comes to my personal life.
That is true.
Yeah. But I also keep my personal life very, very simple. So I don't really get like, unless it's super unexpected, there's not a lot of drama in my personal life.
That's good.
Right. So then I don't need to stress about that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you have a better solution dealing with it? I don't have, other than distractions, I have no other good solution.
I would actually say my my two solutions are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
For typically when I feel stressed about work stuff or a laundry list of to-do lists, stuff to do. What the hell was that sentence? My usual go-to is just to get it done because you're stressed about having a long laundry list of stuff to do. Yeah. So then your only way to get out of it is to get that list shortened and done with. And then with that, then that kind of stress goes away. I think for family stress or personal stress, in the sense of you can't really do anything about it, I feel like the level of stress that I feel with work right now is, it's not personal, but it does tie into that area of, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just a feeling of, oh, even if I put out my best work, even if I continuously meet deadlines and do my best, I'm still under a whole pile of work.
Yeah.
And I still have to manage it somehow. Yeah. But like I can only output my best. I feel like for that, the solution is almost the same for when it comes to personal stuff, in the sense of you have to just do something that's completely unrelated and distracting.
I mean, there's also one thing is like changing your mindset. Now, like I'm saying it like it's easy. I know it's not, but like kind of like changing your expectations to it is kind of nice too sometimes. Like for me, it's like, okay, going back to the example, you know, doctor called me, checkup, ball cancer, all that shit, right? I'll feel really stressed at the time, at the moment. And other than distractions, the next best thing for me to do is like, you know what? At least I have balls right now. You know what I mean? Like there are people out there. There are people there without balls, or there are people there without an arm or a leg or a hand. It's kind of like I'm pitting other people to make myself feel better. If that makes sense.
All right, so can you pull up that abuse to say?
But it's like my own mental, like, not expectation, but like my mentality to it.
Like looking at the silver lining or trying to be a glass half full type of person.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? At least I got a fucking roof over my head and a bed and, you know, food kind of thing like that, right? There's people without even that basic stuff.
That's true.
Right? So like, that's like, I do remember in one time in my life, it was a relatively stressful time where it was, at the time I broke with my ex-girlfriend. I like dislocated my shoulder at the gym. I like, life was being really shitty to me at the moment. Right? And I was legitimately sad. Like I was just sitting there. I was just so sad. And then I just thought, you know what? There are fucking people out there without a fucking roof. This cannot be as bad as that. If there's a low, this might be it, but at least there's only going up from here.
I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah. So then it's like you like there's a certain amount of like self-pity to the point where it's like, you know what? No, fuck it. Like there's a low and I'm at it. I've admitted I'm at the low. Then let's just go from here kind of thing. And then that kind of changes my mindset and it kind of like relieves a lot of stress.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, as soon as like I do that mindset change, but like it doesn't happen often in my life, luckily. Right. But when it does happen, like that's just the mentality I have to take. And then it just works from there.
I can see how that would work because I have a similar thing that I would apply to in some cases where I would say, this is a good problem to have in the sense of like, okay, if you're, okay, yeah, for my work thing, I could apply to that, but I feel like I haven't been able to mentally just because it's just been a lot. But I could say the same thing with my work stress. I could say this is a good problem to have because I only have this problem because I'm succeeding and because I'm growing in my company and because I have a job that really needs me type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Or yeah, whatever it is. There are good problems to have versus bad problems to have.
Yeah.
Versus like,
but even at bad problems, it's like you could change those into like not good problems, but it's like, you know what, it could be worse.
Yeah.
And then for me personally, it makes me feel better. Where it's like, you know what, it could be worse, so fuck it. This is
you good. Know, the it could be worse thing doesn't actually work for me because of something that you say that you've said before.
Really? Okay, I ruined it for you.
It wasn't related to it at all, but I remember one time when we were talking about pain.
Yeah.
You said, okay, but the worst pain someone has ever felt is the worst pain they've ever felt.
True.
So to them, if the worst pain you've ever felt was a paper cut, then that's the most painful thing you've ever felt. So to you, a paper cut's the worst thing fucking ever.
Yeah.
And I could say like, oh yeah, I've had depression before. That's the worst. Then you'd be like, yeah, but this person had a paper cut and that was their worst. Yeah. And so for perspective, for the part where it's like, oh, it could have been worse, I'd be like, yeah, but this is my worst. That's their worst, you know?
Oh, really? That's not how I take it.
So it doesn't work for me.
Oh,
if I were to think like, oh, somebody has it worse, I'm like, yeah, but they've never experienced this worse.
Oh, I see. No, I use it differently. I use it as in like for other people.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, when I empathize with other people, that's when I use that. For myself, I never use that. For myself, it's like if I'm doing some like if I'm running and I really hate running at the gym and I'm trying to push myself, the only thing I can keep thinking about is like, man, if those fucking Marines can do it, I can fucking do it. And then I just suffer through that shit.
I wonder what would happen one day if you actually met a Marine and they're like, no, that's tough shit, I can't do that.
I'd be like, dude,
broke your entire concept.
No. It'd be like, dude,
you're a shitty Marine.
Yeah, I'd be like, dude, do you even know the SEALs? And then that'll be my next mindset. And then if a SEAL told me that that's tough shit, I'll be like, dude, do you even know David Goggins?
There's always one better than you.
Exactly. So then it's like, you know, if those people can fucking do that, then I have to be able to do it.
Do you know an Asian SEAL?
Dude, I'm telling you, it's always my ego. It's like if someone else can do it, I have to be able to try. Even though I may not be able to succeed, I always have to be able to try.
If it's possible somewhere, then it's possible for you.
That's pretty much my mentality.
I think it's also inspiring to think that somebody at some point, if you're thinking about learning a sport or a skill, one of the best in the world for that category or that skill, they were an amateur at one point.
Oh, I don't know that.
I think that's very inspirational. Like if you wanted to be really good at volleyball, you could say like, oh, this is really frustrating, I'm not getting it, blah blah blah. But the best player in the world also was shit at one point. Maybe when they were 2 years old.
I don't know.
And you're fucking 30.
I don't know if this is the best mentality.
But it's inspiring.
Maybe.
Everyone was an amateur at some point.
Yeah, but that sounds like an excuse right now.
It's not an excuse. It's saying like, okay, true. No, like everyone goes through this learning phase.
Yeah.
If you can't power through this, then you can't get to step 5 or level 5.
That's true. Okay, yeah. That part of it is true. I thought it was like belittling the others.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, for me, it's always pure ego, but then like just some shit I just know I won't do, even though there's still some ego. Like I said before, if some fucking PhD guy did this thing, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I don't need to do it. I don't need to push shit. This guy's a pretty smart guy, right? But if
just because you can do it doesn't mean I can do it.
Yeah. But if I know this guy, in my opinion, is some fucking rando, like. They're just a normal guy, right? Just normal ass Joe, and they can do it. Then I'm like, fuck, I can do it then.
You don't think a PhD guy can be a normal ass Joe?
No.
What if he doesn't excel in any other area in his life?
Doesn't matter. He excelled in one, and that's what matters.
That's true.
So then I'll be like, I can't do that in that specific field, unfortunately. But if fucking random gamer Mr. YouTuber can do it, I can fucking do it for sure.
You don't think that he excelled in becoming a YouTuber full time?
Yeah, for sure. He excelled at making content. That doesn't mean he's an excellent fucking volleyball player. Unless that was what his content originated from. That's a different story, right?
But does that mean that you can be a great content creator?
No, I mean, I don't care to.
Oh, okay.
There's a certain
That's comparing
extent.
Oranges to apples then, I feel.
There's a certain extent to some stuff. But it's like, I think I've said this pretty recently in our other podcast. If like some random gamer YouTuber who's like really good at CSGO.
Yeah.
He ends up doing some like crazy 3D print shit. Then I'm like, no, I have to do it. Like, no way this fucking random.
No way you can have 2 hobbies that you excel at.
It's not 2 hobbies. It's like you knew they never did that before, and all of a sudden they learned how to do it, and they did it. Then I'm like, no way I can't learn to do it. Right? It's like there's one thing where someone's like, oh, I did this for 10 years, and this is the outcome of it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's super cool.
What if they're naturally gifted?
I believe in the bell curve.
Okay.
And I believe I'm only slightly ahead
at the top.
I'm only slightly ahead of the bell curve. So I believe, yeah, for normal people, normal shit. Yeah, there could be someone who's naturally
low
gifted, but it's like
it ain't gonna be them statistically.
Like, if you're super gifted at something and then you like discover at 30, you're still gonna take some time to actually like figure it out and then be as good as the people who've been doing it for the last 15 years, right? Like that's still gonna take quite a bit of time, even if you're super gifted. If you started that late, right? So it's like the sport average best performer of that sport's like 20 years old. You start at 30, and say you're naturally gifted, and you learn in 5 years. It's still gonna take 5 years, in my opinion, at least, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about like super average. I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, you know, your average Joe Schmo, like, you know, this one streamer who does gaming all the time. He games all the time. He games 8 hours a day. Yeah, it's true. I don't know his like personal life of what else he does and shit. All of a sudden, he puts out some other content where he's like doing some other really cool, crazy, like scientific shit. Then I'll be like, dude, I can do it. I can fucking do it. If that guy can do it, I can do it.
That's true. I think I would be motivated, but in the same way, unless they're like, hey, I took up painting. Look at that. Bob Ross.
Yeah, but
your paintings look like shit compared to mine. I'd be like, damn, this guy found his other natural knack for something.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. But that's stuff I don't care to. Right? There's like a
okay, like what if it wasn't painting? What if it was, I don't know, he was able to,
like, if a random YouTuber, say random, like, you knew that they weren't really into, say, cars, and then they went and rebuilt the car, but I have to do that.
Oh, because they're able to.
Yeah, they were able to, and yes, they were also able to because they had money from YouTube and all that stuff. That did contribute to them to being able to. But if they truly did it all themselves, the YouTube was only the money portion, right? Then and the time portion. Then, in my opinion, given enough time and money, I should be able to do the same thing, right? So then my ego would be like,
skills.
My ego would be like, I have to do it. I have to do it now.
What if it wasn't something physical like that? What if it was something more instinctual, like a music skill or playing volleyball?
Yeah, I don't care too much about those.
Or rock climbing. Yeah. Or
rock climbing is one of them. So if some random gamer who sits on his computer and games like 12 hours a day and shit, and they start rock climbing and they do really well, I'd feel inspired. I'd be like, I should be able to do that eventually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there's also some limitations. I feel like I haven't hit them yet, but my injuries have caught up to me with climbing a lot, which sucks. But yeah, it is what it is.
What do you know? V5 still?
Yeah, I mean, I just got injured recently, but right before I got injured, I was like doing like 3 a session.
Yeah,
it was like great. No, like again, like I was doing that in September. I got injured, and I didn't catch up until like February, where I started like feeling better, and then I started climbing more. And then this, like literally in March, I started climbing really, really well for a whole month, and I got injured again.
What's your new injury?
Exact same one.
Oh,
it's the same finger.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was like, fuck me! Which just sucks, because sometimes when I climb with my friends, they're like, dude, you don't commit hard enough for your moves. That's why you're not getting them. I'm like,
injured.
You're right. So then I commit, and then I get injured. I'm like, fuck
you, Kevin. I just picked a random name, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, that's purely me. Just it's too much sometimes. My ego sometimes.
I get it. Mine's the same.
I don't think so. I think I have a problem.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
No, I think it's just that. I just have too high belief of my abilities, which may not be warranted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I'll believe I can do it, and then I'll start doing it. I'll be like, dude, this is so fucking hard.
You know, I've had friends say the same thing about me, where I don't remember what they said verbatim, but they're like, you know, that girl has so much heart. She always thinks that she can do it, but she has nothing to back her up.
Oh yeah, that's you. That is you.
Yeah.
No, but yours,
in terms of like having like so much faith in myself and doing something.
Does yours come from faith though? Like mine purely comes from ego. Like I know it comes from ego. It comes from arrogance.
What's the difference?
Faith is just like, yeah, I think I can do it. I don't know, just different. Like you, like, okay, why do you believe you can do it? And then for me, I was like, I believe I can do it because I'm better than that person. That person can do it.
Okay.
Right? But yours has probably come from something else, which is like faith.
Mine's like, if I work hard enough, I can do whatever I set my mind to.
Yeah. And mine is like, I believe I can do it. Why? Because that shitter can do it, therefore I can do it.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
Yeah. So then it's like, it's not healthy, but it has given me good things in my life. Like it's gotten me to do some cool hobbies that unfortunately have not been realized to max potential yet, but it's a matter of time, I hope, or I'm just gonna have fun with them.
Yeah.
either way I win, so whatever.
Okay, yeah, but it's ego. Yeah, right? Either way I win and fuck you.
Yeah. Either way I have fun is number one, or number two, I get successful with them. But in either situations, I win. Yeah, that's my ego, unfortunately.
I would classify that as ego for sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of something called an ego death?
Like doing something really hard and getting yourself killed?
No. Can you search it up? I want to see the specific definition of it.
Ego death. Ego death in psychoanalyst mysticism and some religions, the disappearance of an individual's sense of self or the removal of one's perception of oneself as an entity separate from one's social or physical environment. Ego death is a complete loss of subjective self-identity. The term is used in various intertwined contexts with related meanings. What does it mean? You just don't think about yourself anymore? Yourself is not a thing?
It's so my understanding of it and how you can achieve it is if you do a specific type of psychological drug.
Okay, yeah,
and you get such a big chip that you come to the understanding that there's so much more to the world and to what you're doing that your own ego and how you perceive yourself almost doesn't matter. It's kind of like, it's not necessarily nihilism, but it's more like, there's so much more to the entire scope and grand scheme of things that my ego and perspective of myself, it literally just doesn't matter.
I see. Yeah. I can see that, especially with drug related things. I can definitely see that. Like you ever see how big Earth is compared to other stuff? Dude.
Have you ever seen how small it is compared to other stuff?
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
Like
how big is it compared to other things? You see how small it actually is. Or another one, it's just like how much time has passed relative to like your life. That shit, I feel like if you think about that stuff and you take drugs, you're definitely gonna go through some ego death right there.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, nothing matters.
Yeah.
But I don't
your
think
entire existence is probably gonna be forgotten unless you do something extravagant.
You know, maybe this is a reason why I don't want to take any like hard drugs. Is like I don't want that.
Which is thing. I've heard that it's a good thing though.
Oh, I don't know. Like I also heard it's a really good thing. But as toxic as my ego may be, it's like helped me do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like I think ego has a really bad connotation, but it's necessary and helpful too.
Can you search up, you know how there are words that are negative, there's words that are positive, and there's words that are neutral?
Yeah.
What's ego?
How do you search this? Is ego a negative word? While ego has a strong negative connotation in everyday language, often associated with arrogance and self-absorption, its core meaning is simply a sense of self or I. Whether it's inherently positive or negative depends on how it's managed and expressed. Ego's core meaning. In psychology, the ego is part of the personality that mediates between the id, primitive desires, and the superego, moral conscience, acting as the I or sense of self. Negative connotations. The word ego is often used negatively to describe individuals who are self-centered, arrogant, or have an inflated sense of self-importance. Oh, that's interesting. The self-importance. I don't have an inflated sense of self-importance. I don't think I'm more important than anyone else. I'm just arrogant, as in like I think I can do everything. But I don't think what I'm doing is more important than other people. Like I don't think me being able to do anything is any more important than anyone else doing anything. But I'm arrogant, as in I think I can do it. A healthy ego is a balanced sense of self that allows individuals to navigate the world with confidence and self-awareness without being overly self-absorbed or dismissive of others. Okay, I mean, I feel like I have a healthy ego then.
Yeah.
An unhealthy ego can manifest as arrogance or lack of empathy and an inability to accept constructive criticisms or feedback. So yeah, I think I'm confident. I'm self-aware. I don't think I'm dismissive of others though, so that's good. I feel like I have a healthy ego. I feel like I might have some traits of unhealthy ego though. Like
which ones?
Definitely arrogance. I actually don't think I have that much lack of empathy as I originally thought when we first started the podcast.
Why is that?
I don't know. Just I felt like I did, but the more I think about it, the more I actually think about people's feelings when I make decisions. Sometimes, not when I like just say random things, but when I like make a decision.
Yeah.
And an inability to accept constructive criticism or feedback. That's 50-50. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can.
When can you and when can't you?
I feel like at the onset, I can't. Like, as soon as they say it, I'm instant fight mode. And then if I absorb it for like 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is purely for the better of myself that they said that. But instantly, it'll be like a instant, like, oh, you offended me kind of thing.
Oh, interesting.
But then if you just let me sit with it for like, not even 10 minutes, like for like 2 to 5 minutes, then I'll be like, okay, never mind. This is a good thing. This is a good thing they told me this. I need to be told this.
So you're often in these scenarios defensive first?
In my brain, but I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like if I were to say all my thoughts, I would be instantly offended at the very beginning. But then if you give me just a little bit of time, just give me a little bit more time, and then I can absorb it.
It's really interesting.
So then that's all. I mean, like, I feel like I have a healthy ego, but there are still some unhealthy traits in this too that I have in my ego. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. What do you want me to search about? Just, yeah, it's a bad connotation, but I feel like I think it's important. It's confidence, no? Like, why are you
sense of self?
Why are you confident? You're confident because of your ego, no?
I feel like it's slightly different. Your ego and your confidence. Your ego is your sense of self, and your confidence is your belief in your sense of self.
Yeah, but why do you believe in yourself? Is because you have a sense of what you can do.
True. Can you search up the difference between confidence and your ego? I feel like there's a difference, but I can't necessarily. I don't have the time to think about it and be silent on the podcast.
Okay, confidence is belief in your own abilities, while ego is a sense of self-importance and a need for validation and external approval. See, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's what ego just is. I feel like ego is like the big word, and then confidence is part of it. Like, I just don't agree with the definition that this AI is giving me right now, wherever the AI got it from, right? I feel like if we're comparing the two, they're gonna create comparisons for them, right? But I think overarchingly, like, ego is there. Ego is yourself. And then confidence is part of it, right? Like, ego is... Yeah, I don't know. That's I think of it hand in hand. I think of confidence as a subset of ego.
I can see that.
So I think ego is like the overarching, and confidence is a part of it. But, I don't know. I guess there are some differences. Here, they say, like, driven by self-importance, yeah.
Describing it as like an adjective.
Yeah.
Over a noun. And I think you're thinking of ego as a noun versus Google's thinking of it as an adjective.
Yeah.
And as an adjective, I think it's hard to see it as something other than having a negative connotation. But if you see it as a noun, it can be neutral.
Yeah. Like, I see it as a thing. Like, a part of you and all these other things you do, that's your ego. Whereas they're talking about, like, being egotistical.
Yes.
Very interesting. I think we went pretty much over time today. What did we talk about today? Let's do this quick recap so I can remember what to put on the podcast description. Talked about mukbang. What was before mukbang?
Abuse.
No, there's something before that. Abuse was after. Talked a little bit about abuse, and then we talked about stress. We talked about sex for a bit, but, like, that's like... How did we get onto that? Something about masturbation is what I remember.
If it was good to doom scroll.
Oh, yeah. That's where we started, I think. We started talking about YouTube Shorts, doom scrolling, mukbang, abuse, and then we started talking about stress, and then we talked about ego.
Stress and how to get rid of stress, and then, yes, ego. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you guys are stressed out there, chill the fuck out. Life's not that important. I mean, life's important. Just
okay. What are the top 3 things that you do to distract yourself when you can't just get shit done?
Eat, workout. Does workout count? Okay, eat, workout. Those are top 2, pretty big ones. Is that my life? Hobbies. But that's really overall.
Yeah.
Like, for me, like, I haven't done this in a long time, but if I was like stressed out and I really don't want to do whatever shit I'm supposed to do, then I'd be like, oh, let's look at some 3D prints and print some shit, and make some cool stuff, or let's look at some projects I want to do. I think those are top 3 for me, but I think I don't know. Top 3 for me. I think eating is gonna be on most people's.
Oh, it's like stress eating.
Yeah. I mean, some people don't eat when they're stressed.
True, that's me.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's for me. It's not just stressing. It's just like I enjoy it. It's like a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, eat, workout, and hobbies. How about you? Top 3 things.
Okay, all of mine are kind of hobbies, but I would say workout.
Okay.
Play with Lumi.
Okay.
The other one would be watch a movie because I really like watching movies.
Oh yeah.
Or lately, if I can also find a time for a class, I would go to hot yoga outside of my regular sessions.
Oh, that de-stresses you?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. It is actually yoga. It is a very, I feel like if people went into yoga with the mindset of it's a mental thing than a physical thing, I think they'll be very well off. Because in my opinion, it is physically challenging, but if you want to be good at like acrobatics or balance or shit like that, there's other better stuff to improve that than yoga.
Yeah.
But if you go in there with the mentality of like, oh, I want to do this for my like mental, whatever it is. It's like in the beginning of every class, they're always like set your intentions and shit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's super important because it's like if you go in it with the intention of just like physical workout, then it's like it's good. It's not like the best, to be honest, in terms of like calories burned, muscles gained, shit like that. But if you go into it with like a specific set goal related to mentality, I think it's super helpful.
I for sure think that, yeah.
What's yours whenever you go to yoga?
I think of it as investing in myself in terms of.
But what's your intention when you think of yoga? Say I'm the instructor. Viv, namaste. What is your intention today?
I want to calm my brain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you want to like not think about random stuff. You just want to do what I tell you to do. Like the poses.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Or just go into a state where my brain is quiet.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Mine is always, I always have the same one. I want to learn to shut off right before yoga and then turn on whenever we're doing the stuff and then turn right back off. That's the same one I have for every single class because I was like, that's for me the best way of learning to like be a good performer is learning how to relax, and learning how to relax is learning how to turn off.
Yes.
And I feel like people don't know
zone in, zone out.
Yeah, like a lot of days, like literally going full circle back to like talking about my boss and stuff like that. Like they just always think about work and shit. It's like no, like if you want to perform your best, in my opinion, you got to learn how to like not perform, and then you can learn to perform better.
Yeah.
When you don't perform.
See it.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's your own business, though, it's kind of...
It's hard. It's definitely hard.
Yeah.
That's why it's a very difficult thing. But if you can do that and learn to turn off at times, then I feel like you'll perform even better.
That is true.
Right? Like, if you can get a good night's sleep, not like a bullshit night's sleep. Because I know people who, like, kind of, like, run a business, own their own business. Like, even Josh's dad, right? And, like, I feel like his sleep is not that great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're always thinking about something related to, right? But I feel like if you can master that and do that, dude, I feel like you'll be ultimate performer.
Yeah, sleep is also a very intentional thing, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just fucking do it.
It's so hard for me.
All right. Anyways, thanks, guys. Thanks for
tuning
listening.
In.
See ya.
Bye.